Because some people might say, yes, I'm Rob Carpenter.
Yeah.
No, really. Here we go. Hello, everyone. This is Gruesome Herzog. My very special guest is actor-producer Rob Carpenter. How you doing, Rob?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Gruesome?
Wonderful. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
How's the weather in Canada?
Crappy. Been running around. I'm in Vancouver here. I've been running around all day in the rain, so I'm curled up on the couch right now, just kind of in the comfort zone talking to you. So it's a good day to be inside.
Yeah,
Definitely.
It was raining earlier here, but it stopped. I'm here in that good old state of Pennsylvania. And, 60 miles from Philadelphia. I'm right dead square in between Pittsburgh and Philly. That's where I like to be. Amish country. Amish country.
Do you guys get a lot of snow?
Oh yeah, last couple of years we have, yeah. It feels like Montreal. Feels like Montreal here last year. So.
That's my hometown.
There you go. See, I knew we had something in common.
All
right. The first movie I got to ask you about. Now I didn't see it. I'm sure a lot of listeners haven't, or else maybe a lot of them did. I have lots to watch, but it's called Corpse-O-Rama in 2001. Directed by one of the masters of movie making, Vince D'Amato.
Yes, actually, Corpse-O-Rama. That's the very first time I met everybody at Creepy Six. I've been in Vancouver now for probably 14 years, I guess. It's kind of it's like I moved out here in '96 from Montreal. So dabbled a little bit and made some of my own short films as a filmmaker before dabbling in the acting side of things. But anyways, a friend of mine mentioned that he had a friend of a friend that was casting for this anthology horror film project, and it sounded like a shitload of fun. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'm just going to come along. I didn't have him, any scheduled meeting with them or anything. I just kind of tagged along and went to North Vancouver where they lived at the time and jumped in and auditioned. And that's the very first time I met Vince and Nikki, who actually created and kind of owned Creepy Six Films, right?
Right.
So they ended up giving me a call, and because it's an anthology project, and they grabbed a lot of people from the actual casting session just to play a lot of different parts in the short kind of film program of the way the film's set up, kind of like the Twilight Zone-esque kind of thing, right?
Right.
So they ended up giving me 3 different parts in 3 different of the shorts, and I thought that was fantastic at the time.
Yeah. Now, is that available for download, or available for rent, or?
They do. I think we did actually get it out to some local video stores, and I think he sent it around down to the States. I'm not sure. It's not something that you can really get your hands on easily.
Right.
But it's around there somewhere.
Okay.
It's funny because he considers this. I consider it the first film because it's it's when I met them and stuff. But I don't know if you're going to be talking to Vince if he got in touch with you or not. But when you do, you can ask him about this.
Okay.
About it being at this point, he's like, that was our practice film. And I'm like, oh, come on, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And, bounce up to how an experience under the belt, I guess, for him as a writer and a director,
right.
As just kind of kickstarting his independent film career kind of thing, and as well my professional relationship with them. So I hold it quite close to my heart. I do myself. During that period of time, I actually had 2 of my short films that were playing in Vancouver at Festival of Independence, I do believe it was called. It's like local short films and filmmaking together at the theater. And I got a couple of mine in. So I invited them to come along and sit in the theater and watch it with me and, talk about it afterwards and stuff. So that was pretty much what kick-started us working together production-wise, because when they saw some of the films that I did, and wanted to kind of talk about the next project because I wanted to do something a little bigger and kind of put our heads together and pull through with it. So, and that would be Carmilla, or the lesbian vampire, Vampires versus Zombies, I guess is what the distribution company ended up calling it for marketing purposes at the time.
Right.
So we started working on that, on the script, and he ended up meeting Brink Stevens at the Victoria Comic Con in 2001. She came up for that weekend, and talked to her about it. Anyway, she ended up jumping on board, which was great, and she's a great lady. She's got like 3 decades of film experience. She's a sweetheart, amazing sweetheart. So it was great working with her on that. So I had a few different hats I wore on Carmilla with production, producing it, as well as taking on a role.
Yep.
As the
gas station attendant.
Yes, sir.
I have that movie, by the way.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah, I haven't.
Which one do you have?
I haven't seen it yet, but I have it.
Which one do you have? The latest one? Is it the uncut?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it's a vampire. Yeah. It's actually titled what you said it was, Vampires versus Zombies. It has 2 names, but I've yet to watch it, which I'm going to watch it probably tonight, because now that I have you on here, I totally forgot all about it, that you were in that one. I mean, I forgot that it had 2 different names, but not to backpedal here, I forgot to mention one movie that we skipped. It was my fault. Touched.
Sure.
Touched.
Sorry, Touched? Torched.
Torched, excuse me, Torched.
With Ryan.
The reason why I mentioned it is because of Ryan Nicholson. I haven't yet to talk to this gentleman, but he's also a fine director himself, because he's also responsible for Gutterballs up there in Canada. Now, what can you talk to us about this one?
Oh yeah, I got a lot to talk about that one. That was Ryan. First off, let me say Ryan Nicholson is an awesome guy. I consider him part of the Creepy Six family for sure. He's been pretty much there from the beginning. He helped us out with Carmilla. We did a reshoot at the end for the film, because we shot it all on 16 millimeter too. I didn't mention that, so that was kind of like this turn of like going from film to HD. So we're just on the cusp of changing over, kind of like from film and stuff. Anyway, so we met Ryan on the reshoot day, and ever since then, he's been jumping in, helping us with the special effects. He's just fantastic. He's so good at what he does. Obviously, if you've seen Gutterballs, you know that.
Yes.
So proud and happy to be a part of his first film, which was Torched, which ended up from our second film, Human Nature. I shot and wrote and directed my first piece with Creepy Six called Anna Lynn. The reason why I bring that up is because it was at that period we were just going to shoot this and put it on the DVD for Human Nature as a special feature.
Okay.
But then as time kind of rolled on, we're like, well, I kind of want to do something different with it. It's like we did with Corpse Bride, we want to do another like anthology project, but it'll be an opportunity for us to really jump into different seats. We can all write and direct our own with a running theme line of, female vengeance. Write a through story to connect them all together and stuff. So basically after that, Ryan's Torched was the second one that we jumped on and helped him with. Like he wrote, directed it, and we jumped on and crewed it for him. It was a great, crazy experience. Because as far as because that's basically the beginning of Hell Hath No Fury, which is Torch's a part. It's the last story in Hell Hath No Fury.
Okay.
That was that project, right? So, and it stands on its own, and hats off to Ryan because it was the strongest piece out of the whole project, because the story's awesome and he just balls out with, the story and the gore.
Right.
Compared to, the rest of us, which, for mine's pretty, it's pretty tame compared to some of the others for sure. But it was the beginning part, so it's kind of like creeping into to the gore kind of thing, leaving the best for last kind of thing, right? So, yeah, and then Brian's just man, he's gone forward full gear since then. Just I don't know how many films he's done now, but probably like 5 or 6, I guess. And still going.
In case the listeners don't realize it, the writer is Vince D'Amato, so I want to mention that as well, in case there's fans out there. Now, you know what? There's no one I missed. I love. Let me tell you a quick story. I've never seen a short movie in my life, and I've got like 5 of them sent to me in the past couple weeks, and I really dig them. But Heads Are Going to Roll, 2004, directed by Vince D'Amato. Talk to me about it.
Yes, love that short. I love short films altogether, but that short film was such a fun experience. We almost didn't shoot it because we did it on 16 mil, and we had, scraping it together to keep, to get Carmilla done. And and for some reason we always kind of like, let's do a short film for a feature for the DVD or the project when it's done, when it gets out there. So that was kind of the same idea where it's like, okay, well, let's do it, but we're running out of money. Can we spare the film? Blah, 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 blah. And he wrote this thing. We all loved the short script when we read it.
Right.
So we all kind of gathered, had a meeting halfway through production for Carmilla and grabbed it again. It's like, are we going to do this? We should do this because I really want to do this. They get to play Lewis, the customer, and I get to work one-on-one with Brink, and that's what I want to do, like on, in front of the camera. So we all came to an agreement that we were going to do it. We did the first day on the weekend, which was half of the film that was shot during production, and then about 5 months later we shot the other day, which I don't know if you've seen it and if you can tell that there's like that much time between kind of like the first part to the last part. But that was a lot of fun to do. I mean, it's funny being the producer and then jumping in as the actor, where it's like I'm thinking about all these things where it's like, okay, we've got to try to make use of all the film stock that we have, so let's try to be, not too generous with the takes, and we'll try to get it right on the first time. So Brink and I we didn't actually rehearse with each other. We kind of were doing the other film and then kind of the weekend, and she did her things professional. She was prepped and ready to go.
Right.
And so was I. So I was a little nervous working with her because she's got all this experience and stuff, but at the same time, I think it worked well with the scene. And that first 10 minutes of the film is one take that they ran from beginning to the end of the scene. We did it in one take, no mistakes, without rehearsing with each other, and wow. I think it turned out fantastic. And then, ended up cruising through the day. It was awesome. It was freaking fantastic.
Is that short still floating around the area? I mean, in the still floating around?
Yeah, if you've got the DVD, it's a feature on the Carmilla DVD. So you'll be able to.
Oh yeah, okay, good.
To watch that.
Good. Now the next one.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I want to send you our uncut version. I almost want you to see that one instead of the Vampires vs. Zombies.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
That one's like an R-rated. It's an R-rated version, so they've cut out a lot of the fun stuff for Vampires vs. Zombies. So when we jumped on with Unearthed Films for distribution for the uncut version, which is the one that's presently out there now.
Oh,
it's just much better.
Good. I can't wait now. You got me anxious now.
Yeah. I'll get your address and I'll send it out to you.
Thank you very much. Now, you mentioned this movie already, but I'm going to go right in a row. Hell Hath No Fury in 2006. Now, is this the first one? Now, you written the one segment, correct?
Yeah, segment of it, yeah.
Okay. And then Vincent did one? Yeah. All right. Now.
Okay, no, I was just going to say, Hell Hath, we basically, that project ended up taking about 2.5 years to do just because of the way that we decided to do it, with each person in the company or the group just writing and directing their own piece, and then us getting into the positions of crewing it and just jumping around, finding locations and letting each individual kind of executive produce their own piece kind of thing, right? So, I mean, it took a span of about 2.5 years to get everything shot and then put it all together, which was, okay, the thing about Hell Hath No Fury is one of my favorite projects with the company, just because it was really something different for us to do, and we all jumped in, and Vince loves it as well, too, because he's always writing and directing, so it was fun for him to kind of jump behind the scene and see how everybody else was working in those positions. Right. So he really enjoyed the experience as well. Now, we have always had a horseshoe up our asses when it comes to distribution with our films. I'm not going to lie, because we've always managed to, as soon as we're done, like with Carmilla, it was like, 2 weeks later we signed with the Asylum. Same with Human Nature. We shot that within, he wrote it, we shot it within 8 months, and then it was out there pretty much on the shelves. Now, Hell Hath No Fury, we took our time, but we pretty much signed a distribution deal as soon as we were done as well. But we ended up getting into the Fantasia Film Festival in Montreal, which was a fun experience. We've always skipped over the film festival route. Even though Carmilla did play in a festival in New York, we had already had distribution, I think, at the time. So, and then we found out about it later, so the information came, oh, yeah, you played in New York. And we're like, well, thanks for letting us know. Would have been nice to go and kind of be there, but anyway.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was a great experience. So Vince and I actually grabbed the plane ticket, definitely wanted to be a part of the festival. It's a great festival. And sit in the audience is just kind of like watching all of these. I mean, we've seen the film a million times, so it wasn't really there to watch a film. I don't think any filmmaker does. It's more like nerve-wracking to have a whole bunch of strangers watching your film and looking at their expressions and faces and whatever else. So it was a great experience. The crowd enjoyed it, and that kind of kicked off because we took a bit of a break until we got on. We'll get on. I'll jump into the hard cut when we get to that.
Yeah.
But the whole festival thing versus the distribution thing right away, which is kind of like what kickstarted the kind of the creation, the energy kind of towards that, I guess, area, more film festival, kind of focusing on that for this latest one that we've produced and almost are done with.
Okay. Well, I'm going to hop off the horror circuit for one quick, brief second here. I got to ask you this. The short, it's called The Porcelain Man in 2007, the comedy. What the hell is that about? It's funny. Mark Ratzlaff is an amazing creative writer, and it's about this guy. I don't know. Is it online? Did you see it? No, I didn't.
No, you haven't?
I want to though.
Oh, okay. It's this great little. It's a 10-minute piece about this kind of a loner. He's in his house and he's it's kind of like set almost like in the 60s. It's got a very distinct look to it. Mm-hmm. And I play this character who's having his meal. He's cooking him his own steak. He's, bachelor. And he finds like this finger in his milk.
Oh, yay.
And jug of milk, pours it out into his glass. He's totally repulsed by that. So the whole thing is about him trying to get in touch with the milk company to try to get some money back for finding like a severed finger in his milk. But the ending's like got a little bit of a twist of the ending. I won't I don't know if I should say anything about it, but it's pretty intelligent to the ending of it. Mark's a great guy. He's been doing quite well. He continues to do this short.
Now I wonder if that's on Vimeo at all. Would you think it might be?
It could be. I can send you a link. Can get in touch with Mark to see if he's got it online somewhere.
Okay, cool.
I know it did a lot of festivals up here in Canada. I think it did a few down in the States as well too. So I'm not quite sure if he decided to put it up online or not.
Okay. Well, I don't. The next one. No, I seen the first one. I didn't see the second one yet, and I know you had a brief role. You played a trucker.
Mm-hmm.
Joyride 2, Dead Ahead in 2008. Now, are you able to say any stories about it, or was it too brief that you're in and out that quick?
No, I got some stories for you. It wasn't. It was 2 days on set, so basically my parts. If you're watching the movie, as soon as they enter, it's before all of the chaos happens, or before the trucker kind of meets up with them. So it's kind of the moment, right? So it's a key moment in the film.
Okay.
But I can tell you, going up to Joyride was. I enjoyed the film, the first one with Paul Walker and Steve Zahn. So, and of course, my agent and manager at the time, I went out for the audition, and I actually auditioned for another trucker who was doing videotaping the girl stripping down. So it was like kind of like a crazy hit, which I love playing.
Right.
But I didn't get that part, but they wanted me for something else, which was this. So I went up for it's about 2.5 hours in the interior. There's this area called Cache Creek, and it's very desert land, believe it or not, in BC.
Wow.
So they filmed the bulk of it up there. The story I guess I have attached to that is like we were up there, and the weather was insane. We got like sun in the daytime. By afternoon, we got harsh windstorms that just blew like the crews stopped like everywhere. So we had to like stop filming just to collect some of that stuff. And then the rain poured, and we got snow that night.
Jesus.
I know, it was insane, just weather-wise. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, like doing the scene with, I guess the young cast at the time. I guess they're all kind of young up-and-comers.
Right. I.E. Cox.
A.E. Cox, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
And there's also, I noticed that there's some drunk truckers, too? Drunk
Yes,
truckers.
Yeah, you got all kinds of truckers in this one. Drunk trucker, porno trucker.
All right, now let's move on. Now... There's a big TV series. It's a remake TV series, and you played an episode in this series. And there is a lot of V fans out there. You were in an episode of V. And And my question to you is, what was the experience for you to be in this one episode of the V?
Yeah. Well, it's always, for me, going out and booking these gigs like on television shows and stuff, it's always a good time. It's like you go on for a day or two, just go and have a good time, get to meet the cast and crew and kind of do your thing stuff. It was pretty simple. It was like the kickoff. It was their first season, so that was not too long ago. I was on it just at the beginning of the year, which is fantastic for the V fans because they got picked up for another season and stuff, so they got some good viewers to keep it going, which is awesome.
Yep.
So I mean, when I did the audition, it wasn't anything big. I had a few lines, and I was supposed to be running through an alley just as they kind of continue on to one of the main V characters she got her ass kicked and dumped in an alley somewhere. Nice. So, but then it ended up being more than what it was. I mean, it was just, a nice kind of full day, and it kickstarted the episode, and ended up being this homeless guy, which I didn't know in the audition room. So I had homeless guy kind of like going through, collecting garbage, and almost running over with my basket, and then I discover her and try and go get some help and stuff. So, yeah, no, it was a good time. It was shot downtown Vancouver here, and they shoot kind of all surrounding area, suburbs to downtown Vancouver. It's a great show. I've seen an episode. It's a lot of fun. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, as you know, I interviewed another cast member of The Hard Cut.
Yeah.
Jackass Dan Ellis. I mean Dan Ellis. Sorry, Dan. If you're listening, buddy, I love you. Okay, it's okay. Anyway.
Yeah, we all love you, Dan.
No, Dan's a good guy. I had to say that.
He's a great guy.
No, he briefly talked about this, and honestly, I don't quite remember what he said because I've done, a lot of interviews since then, so it's nothing.
Yeah, no doubt.
Nothing personal, but then again, he's probably full of shit anyways. Dan, I'm just kidding. No, no, but Dan's a good dude. The Hard Cut now, obviously, it's not released yet. I guess they're in a process of, or is it now finished?
No, we're almost done. We had a cast and crew screening last week just to show the cast and crew a little something. We've got another couple months of fine-tuning or cosmetic editing, I guess is what you're calling it, just to tune it up and to have it ready by January. Now, this is our last effort is the Hard Cut with Creepy Six Films. It's a thriller. Just something different for us, just being horror films and stuff. But it does have a taste of the horror in it because I'm playing a detective, Roddy Tillinghast, in it, who gets thrown this job. He's kind of bored. He wants to retire. He gets thrown this job to find this hard cut that's missing in this 70s horror flick called Catholic Schoolgirl Cheerleaders for Satan. So there's we're kind of having a little fun, kind of ribbing our own selves and kind of the industry with this flick a little bit. We actually during that process shot that film, the Catholic Cheerleaders for Satan, just to we'll probably go on the internet as a web series just for cross referencing if anybody's searching around after they see this film or before the film to go see the schlocky film that we're all talking about in the Hard Cut kind of thing. So speaking of Dan, he was fantastic. He actually plays two different roles in it. One, Jonas, who's a film distributor, small town film distributor, and the other one's like Shotgun Angel, which is the part he loved a lot.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
really went.
He's carrying a gun. I mean.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. He's that.
Hogwild.
He's that killer. Well, he's that killer in gutter balls. I guess he's used to that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Killer
Definitely.
Dan.
Killer Dan. He's a great guy. Major talent, I think, in developing characters, and he's done such a great job with everything he's done with Ryan.
Yep.
And beyond. So
I'll be getting a phone call. I'll be getting a phone call after he hears it.
You will.
I'll just hang up on his ass. No.
Yeah. I can't talk right now. I'm busy.
Yeah. I ain't in the mood for your shit, Dan. Goodbye. No. I'm sorry, Dan. I'm just playing. Okay. The next short that I want to talk about is in 2010. It's also a mystery thriller. It's called The System, directed by Trenton Lepp. Yes, Mr.
Lepp, my good friend, Mr. Lepp. We shot that. He's almost done with it, I do believe. I first met Trenton. He did a web series last year called Condition Human. It's more of a sci-fi web series. I thought he did such a fantastic job, like visually. He's like CG artist, and I was just floored when I saw the end product. Like I couldn't believe that this was a no-budget web series.
Right.
And you look at it, if you go online, you can find it on YouTube. There's a trailer there. You can't watch the whole thing. The trailer pretty much gives you a sense of what the rest of it looks like. So, and he wanted to do this project, sent me the script, and love the character, play an oddball who's having these crazy premonition dreams, and he's trying to get ahead of these gruesome murders before they happen, but he ends up being the cause of them sometimes.
Oh, okay.
It's an interesting piece. He wants to continue with another piece after that sometime in 2011. So I guess I'll be hearing from him pretty shortly on that one.
Excellent. Like I said before, short. I'm really getting into them short films. I mean, basically,
you got to have that story arc, right? That
Right.
you would in a feature film, but you got to do it in like 10 minutes. So that's
Exactly.
like that massive challenge.
Yep. Exactly.
For sure.
Last but not least, I'm assuming that it's not made yet. I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Dominant Gene. 2011.
Dominant Gene.
Yep, sci-fi film in 2011. As a matter of fact, it's supposed to be, July 1st in Canada?
Yes. Yeah, it's, I met these guys. I actually found them online. They were casting, which I still do. I still peruse around the internet to see what's happening in the city because there's such an independent scene in Vancouver, which I love, which is probably why I'm still here after 14 years.
Yep.
Because you have all these people who have, they're so excited about their projects and they've got the means and they've got the experience because of all the larger stuff that actually comes into Vancouver and their experience that they bring it home to create their own projects. And this is kind of like one of those projects. It's a feature length. Sci-fi is going to be a lot of special effects because one of the guys is a special effects dude as well. And I got to play UN Inspector Krulls. He's kind of a bad dude. I got to actually for the first time work with a child actor in my career, which was actually a good experience. I wasn't sure
Right.
how that was going to go.
Right.
But it was great. The kid was really professional. And something about children who act are so natural.
Yeah.
You can learn a lot from them actually, and I've heard that before. But actually working with it, it's like I understand. It's like what they mean. So it's a little bit, it's kind of the kickstart of the film where, these children who are blessed with, almost like ESP and, mental, capacities of, like moving things and beyond, and how, my character segregates them, just because he thinks they're dangerous. And then, as they grow up, they become part of this kind of this troupe that goes around. Well, there's two groups. There's one group that goes around saving people from natural disasters, and there's the other group who's a rebellion against the oppression kind of thing. So,
Right.
yeah, it should be. I'm really excited and interested to see this when it comes out. And the cast and crew. It's got a lot of promise. I think it's quite exciting.
Excellent.
Definitely.
I'm just glad to have you on here because there's you have a lot of interesting stuff. I'm sure the listeners would really dig if they haven't seen it already. But But I am glad that you contacted me because I don't want Dan to be the only Canadian on here. I have to have. Well, actually,
he doesn't want to feel lonely.
Actually, he's not a Canadian. He's actually
not
Cincinnati Bengals fan. That's what
he is.
I'm a
we opened our arms to Canadians.
I don't know why you did that, but whatever. Well, he sent me an email on Facebook, and he says, "Well, I feel pretty bad for you, but your Steelers are going to lose to the Bengals. I'm sorry to say that." Well, dude, where have you been? The Steelers beat them. And he's vanished. He's gone. He's disappeared. Dan, are you still alive there, buddy? No.
I can't wait to get an email from him from after this. Or a phone call.
Oh, yeah.
Things that actually coming up for the viewers if they want to check it out. Would love it. Did this, everything was about a couple of years ago, was web series after web series, and things are like really taking off. I did a few of them. But there's one in particular called The Vitala, and you can watch it at thevitala.com. It's the first season. Damon Vignali, who wrote and directed this web series, miniseries. It's basically, I guess, let me back up here. The Vital is it's kind of a mythology of this vampire-like creature who inhabits the dead when their lives are cut short unjustly. So, yeah, and it exacts revenge kind of thing, right? So we are going in. We just actually won a Leo this year for it's the first time they opened up a category. Leos are a BC award ceremony for film and stuff that's shot in Vancouver or British Columbia.
Right.
So it's the first time they opened up a category for a web series, and we ended up taking home the trophy, which was awesome. And just about a week and a half ago, we won a Gemini Award, which is kind of like the, I guess, Canadian Oscars.
Okay.
Which is a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it was nice. He's really done quite well with it. He's an awesome guy, very creative, awesome guy. So we're going into January. We're going to shoot, continue the story. So probably got another couple seasons to go. So yeah, just anybody listening who wants to go check it out, go check it out. Love to get your feedback on it and stuff as well too. So.
Oh, that's cool. I can't believe I missed that. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's all right. There's a lot up on that IMDb page. Like I said before, talking to you, it's kind of all over the place. So.
Dan's fault.
Dan's fault. All Dan's fault.
Yeah, he got me sidetracked by jabbing him, and I missed it. Well, anyways, thank you.
You can also, hey, no problem. Sorry, one last thing. You can also go to creepy6films.com and check out all the stuff that we've done, including the hard cut trailer, just to give you an idea of what to look for and what kind of film it is, as well as all of our past trailers like Carmilla, Human Nature, and Hell Hath No Fury is all up on the website as well too. So.
And if you want
thank you so much.
And if you want to go on Facebook, you can add Rob Carpenter on Facebook. And if you're really desperate, you can add Dan Ellis on Facebook as well. Or you can go on my friends list.
Exactly.
And they're right there. So, again, Rob, thank you for coming on. It's awesome. And
thank you so much. This was a joy. It was a blast, man.
I hope you enjoyed it. But I will chat with you off the air, so I give you my address and so forth.
You got it.
All right, Rob.
Sounds
Take care.
Good.